also an algorithm. There is a difference between pseudocode and algorithm. So in that case, you need to write a pseudocode and algorithm just to check, just to insert an element in the stack. So all of you know that to insert an element in the stack, there is only a 3 to 4 line of code. That is, you check the condition of overflow, whether it is overflow or not. If it is overflow, you cannot insert. And similarly, if you want to delete something, you need to check if top is equal to -1, or you need to check whether it is underflow or not. Underflow means there is no element to delete. So maybe this kind of small things, because the whole major portion of stack, link queue and trees, is it going to be covered in unit module 3. So the detailed description I will not be asking, or nobody is asking in unit module 1. So then there may be a question like, see, if you have a, if you know what is a linked list, then you should know what is a circular linked list. And if you know what is a queue, then you should know what is a circular queue. And I can ask you to explain with an example. So you need to draw the how you are going to make the numbers and pointers on all these things by making out a figure, all these things. But the major questions will be from the coding section, is from the sorting and searching. So this is how your cat 1 will be. Anything, everything that we have discussed in the class, um, that will be a portion of your cat 1.
But we haven't done coding in this for cat 1 now.
Yeah, but see, while I have discussed with you, like what is an insertion sort, and then you know what is an insertion sort, you know how, what are the steps of insertion sort, you know how to write the algorithm, and I've shared with you the how to write the program for insertion sort in Dev C++ or maybe in your Python. So maybe because you know, because you all have studied the C++, you know how to write a code, because you know what is an insertion sort, and you can change it into your programming. That is what is happening in other class also. Maybe in other class also, so they have even not discussed the code also for the insertion and selection. When I talked to them, they said that students know how to write the program in C++, but the scenario is different, because I've seen that some of you having difficulty writing the code. So basically, you don't need to worry. What I'm going to check in your code is that the condition to, the condition which is used for inserting an element using insertion sort, that is the major thing I will be checking in your code, not the proper syntax and semantics. What is the main condition?
So we can code in any language.
Yeah, I talked to the dean of the School of Computer Science Engineering. So he said that students can do in any language, and one of the faculty, Mr. Lalwani, said that I given the examples to students to do in Java, because Java may be helpful to submit the assignment in Java, because it is helpful for the placement. But I don't think that if you are able to explain the code to any company in your preferred language and expertise, it will be good for you. So if you are expert in Python, you can write in Python. If you are expert in C++, you can write in C++. If you're good in Java, you can write in Java. But main thing I will be focusing while checking your program is that the, the theme, the concept, or the condition, which is the main criteria to check whether it is a merge sort or whether it's the bubble sort. So you don't need to worry main about syntax and semantics of the code. But I will be very sharply marking how you have written the pseudocode and algorithm. So that is why I'm going to today discuss a little bit about pseudocode algorithm, and I'm going to give you an in-class activity for the today's session also, because there will be questions writing for pseudocode, writing for algorithm. But don't worry, everything that we have covered in the class, the questions will be from that part only. If you have listened the part of sorting very carefully, starting from the beginning, if you have listened the types of data structures, what is an abstract data type, all these things, from where we insert or delete in the stack, from where we delete and insert in queue, from where we insert in linked list and delete in linked list. If you know all these things, then you can easily score good marks in the cat. So okay, let me start with today's session, and I hope everyone has finished with the entry ticket question. So let me share my screen. See, first of all, what you need to revise for this Cat 1, please revise this slide very carefully, because it is the consisting of your unit module 1. What is an abstract data type? Characteristics and their description. Classification of data structures. What is primitive data structure? What is non-primitive data structure? Then what is a heap data structure? You should know. What is a maximum heap? What is a minimum heap? I can ask you to make explain with an example. You should know what is a binary search tree and what are their properties, because it is under part of your classification of data structure. Then you should know a little bit about binary tree data structure also. See, all these things are very related to your very basic question in your unit module 1, because if you see your syllabus, the major question of trees is explained in unit module 4. Similarly, the stack, linked list and queue is explained in unit module 3. That's why I have not very much focused on the algorithm or the coding part of your stack and link and queue. I have focused more about the sorting and searching for the code and for the algorithm, because it is the complete unit module 2. So coming to this slide, please read this slide very carefully. The queue, NQ, DQ, push and pop operation, linked list. What is a circular linked list? What is a double linked list? So you should know all the 3 types of linked list, and we can insert at the beginning, middle, and at the last also. And you should know little bit about how to insert a node in a linked list by writing a structure. You create a node, then you create a pointer which is a reference pointer to from A to B. This much of code, only in the detailed discussion. Then you should know a little bit about arrays also, what are their drawbacks and what are their advantages, what is the main drawback array that linked list doesn't have, why linked list is called as a dynamic data structure. And then coming to the next slide, which is about writing, because most of the questions consisting of writing the pseudocode and writing the algorithm. So I will be coming again this slide, but I have a question from all of you right now for this in class activity practice session. Although I will be discussing with you, the first question is that what is the difference between pseudocode and algorithm? Write the pseudocode and algorithm for the Fibonacci series. Now there is a concept of divide and conquer in this question number 3, or maybe a searching. You need to think a little bit, swapping at something. Find a peak element among the given array of integers and display that peak element. So what is a peak element? We have a list of numbers 5, 10, 20, 15. Any number which is greater than its neighbor, that is left neighbor and right neighbor, will be a peak element. So here 5, 10, 20, 15. Out of this, which number is peak? It's 20. So 20 is greater than 10 and 15. Next, similarly, if we have the case of 10, 20, 15 to 223, 90, 67, then 20 has the neighbors 10 and 15. 20 is greater than, so we have one peak element 20, and then we have a 90 which is greater than 23 and 67. So I would like to all of you, to anyone or maybe all of you, need to do this in class activity session right now. We will be discussing all these 3 things, because this will be a part of your Cat 1, because every question mostly consisting of writing the pseudocode and algorithm. So I need to ask from all of you, what is a pseudocode and how it is different from algorithm?
So pseudocode acts like a prototype for the programmer to write the actual program. And an algorithm is like the steps we'll have to follow to solve a problem. Like algorithm is generally written in normal language instead of like a coding language. A pseudocode is more familiar to a programmer than a normal person.
The pseudocode doesn't contains any syntax, sir.
Okay. Okay. Um, Thank you, Ayushman.
Sir,
And
pseudocode has to be one line, sir.
pseudocode has to be one line, but it depends on the problem. It should not be a one line. Can be more than one
Uh,
line.
can be more than one line, but the steps has to be in one line. We cannot write paragraphs to for the person to understand.
Okay. Very well said by Ayushman, Rahul, and by Dhruv Sharma. Others are also welcome to for the suggestion. So
Sir, it does not deal
yes.
with machine specific details. It is more abstract.
Yeah, okay, Anand. It generally it doesn't deal with the machine, or it is not compiled. And the answers you have tell, it's yeah, there's a proper definition of pseudocode. The pseudocode uh, is basically a combination of some English keywords with high programming high programming syntax, not properly the whole syntax of a program, but is a mixture of some English keywords plus the high programming syntax of the particular language. For example, in algorithm, you generally write sequence of steps to explain a process or to solve a problem, whereas it's a little different in the pseudocode where you write some of the programming syntax also. So, but it is not compiled. It is what Eichmann has said, that it is a kind of prototype of the program. Yeah, as a kind of prototype. Just before the program, you write the pseudocode, and that is a part of pseudocode. So I give you uh, a 5 minutes time.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I want to ask something, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, can an array have more than one peak in it?
Can array have more than one peak in it? See, why not? Because if it is not properly sorted and the numbers are arranged in a random fashion, so it can have a more than one peak.
So does the last element
Sir,
count as a peak?
then if the
Yes.
So does the last element count, like if the last element is greater than the second last element, does it count as a peak?
Yeah, the first
And
element, yeah, that will be count as a peak because there is no element on the right hand side, but it is greater than the left hand side element. So by default, it will be the peak element.
okay.
So, so basically, in this question, there will be, I think, two or
um,
three more cases.
sir, if the peak is asked, then we have to mention all the peaks of the array.
Yeah, I think you can do one thing. You can create the cases that if the array is sorted, then the peak will be the last element in ascending order. If array is sorted in descending order, then the peak will be the first element. If uh, array is not sorted, then there may be a two peak. You can store the value in some temporary variable, and then you can have the comparison from left hand side or right hand side, like
Sir,
this.
is there a limit to the array size?
uh, it's up to users. Maybe he can declare the list of numbers, or maybe he can give the n numbers. So I give you total how much time you need for the writing the pseudocode for the Fibonacci series, and for the little portion of the code for the peak. How much time you require, all of you?
So for the peak, we have to write the pseudocode as well.
No, only the program.
Okay. So
I think 10 minutes,
10
15
minutes,
minutes,
yeah.
10
10
minutes,
minutes, 10
okay.
minutes. And
Okay, yeah, okay. So I give you all of you 10 minutes, and you will be evaluating, you all will be evaluating based on this, because today I am noting down the names, and rather than giving assignment, what has happened that sometimes students get copy. Even you have the option right now also, but it's good to be evaluated at this time. That will be a part of practice session. So please, I give you 10 minutes from now. It's 9:11, and after 10 minutes I can ask anyone to please explain and share the screen. Thank you. It's 9:11.
So can you please show the question once again so I can read?
Okay, okay, I am just sharing my screen again. Please forget this one. You don't need to do this one because we have discussed.
So from second question we have to start, right?
Yeah, only 2 and 3rd.
So sir, the last activity you had given in previous class, that will not be marked.
That will be marked, but maybe I will be marked based on your submission in the Moodle, whatever I left with the time. Maybe we can revise it after this activity.
Okay, sir.
Because I was just preparing your paper, so I thought it's very important to discuss about the algorithm and pseudocode. If you confuse with the algorithm pseudocode, then there will be a problem for all of us.